This is problem number 8 on the sample test problems for test number 3. Decode the following messages. Part A is JRSKHU, which was encoded using Caesar. So the basic idea for Caesar is that to encode, you take the letter that's 3 places after the letter that you're given. This thing has already been encoded, and we're trying to go the other direction. So our job here is to take the letter that's 3 places before the letter that's given. So let's try a couple of these. First letter we see is J. We find the letter J and we go 3 places before and we land on G. We'll change colors. Next letter in the message is R. We find R. We go 3 places before and we land on an O. So maybe pause the video here and then come back when you're ready to check. Okay, next one I see is S. S 3 places before lands on P. Next letter here is K. We go back 3 places from K and we land on H. Then we have an H. We go back 3 places from H and we get an E. And then finally U. Going back 3 from U lands us on R. So the original message here was gopher. Part B, CKLDAN, which was encoded using a substitution cipher where each letter was replaced by the letter 4 before it. So if this message was encoded by looking for the letter that was 4 before it, in order to decode, we need to find the letter that's 4 after it. We're going the other direction. So we grab the C, find the C, and we go 4 letters after. 1, 2, 3, 4 lands me on G. We'll change colors. Next letter is a K. You find it, you go 4 places after, and we land on O. You might already have a prediction to what this message is, but go ahead and go through the calculations just to verify. Pause the video and come back when you're ready to check. Okay, next one is L. We go 4 places after the L, we land on P. Next is D. 4 places after gives me an H. A, 4 places after, lands me on an E. And then finally N, go 4 places after, 1, 2, 3, 4, we get R. So again, the secret message here is gopher. Part C is GQDOBY, which was encoded using bifid with keyword caution. So first thing we have to do is fill in this 5x5 grid. So we do that by writing out the letters in the word caution. And I caution you that if there happens to be a duplicate letter in that word, then you don't write it twice. The idea behind this 5x5 grid is that you never duplicate a letter twice. Next thing to do is fill in the rest of this using the alphabet. We'll go alphabetical order, starting A, B, C. But I've already made a couple of mistakes. I can't put A because there's already an A in the word caution. Can't put C because there's already a C in the word caution. So be really careful as you fill this in. You never want to duplicate letters. So start the alphabet at A, but we've already got it, so we go to B. Next letter is C, but we've got that already, so we go D, E, F, G, H, and then we get to I, which we skip because it's in the word caution. Next letter is J, which we always skip using this method. After that, we go K, L, M, N, but N is skipped because it's in the word caution. O is also skipped because it's in the word caution. P, Q, R, S, T is skipped. U is skipped. V, W, X, Y, Z. If you land on Z in that last spot, be proud of yourself. If you didn't land on Z, you made a mistake somewhere, so go find it. Okay, so the first thing we do is we'll go ahead and take that word, the G, Q, D, O, B, Y, and we're going to find these letters, and we're going to look inside of the row and the column. Inside row and column. So first letter I'm looking for is a G. I find G here. It's in row 3, column 2. So the row goes on top, column goes on the bottom. So pause the video here and go ahead and fill in the other 5 letters. Okay, so check your answers here. I've got mine written up here in purple. Then the next idea is that instead of grouping these by row and column this way, which is the natural way, we're going to group row and column horizontally. So we're going to undo all that, and I'm going to start grouping this way. And so I'm going to take those boxes, I'm just going to write them out side by side. Okay, scratch what I just said. We're not going to group that way. I was still in an encoding frame of mind because I did problem 7 recently. So what we're going to do is the groupings that are already here naturally, 3, 2, 4, 3, all the way down. We're going to take those and we're going to rewrite them as horizontal groupings. So instead of writing 3, 2 vertically, I'm going to write 3, 2 horizontally. The next one is 4, 3 vertically. We're just going to write that horizontally. And we just keep going, everything horizontally, just one long string of numbers. And we get this. And now the twist is you take this string and you cut it right down the middle. So there are 12 numbers in this string, so the middle is 6. And you're going to take the final 6 and line them up right underneath the original 6. So down here, we're going to copy down the 2, 1, 2, 3, 5, 4. And now that I've done that, so maybe we'll just highlight that all of these things get copied and put right down there. And now that I've done that, I'm ready to decode the message, again, using the row and column idea. So we're going to look right here and find row 3, column 2. I'll highlight it. Row 3, column 2 is the letter G. It's right there. So this thing becomes G. I'll do one more, and then you guys will pause the video and try the rest. So row 2, column 1. I'll highlight it in blue. Row 2, column 1 is right here. That's an O. So the next letter here is O. And again, you might have guessed what the answer is going to be, but go ahead and go through all the steps to try to decode this message. So pause the video and come back when you're ready. Okay, so if you've done everything right, again, it should translate exactly to the word gopher. Part D, LICMYE, which has been encoded using the Visionaire with keyword fun. Okay, so first I'm going to draw in a couple of lines because they didn't come out on my screenshot. Okay, so the phrase that has been encoded is this LIC business, so we'll put that right up here at the top. And the next thing to do is to translate those letters into numbers using the alphabet chart that's right up above. So the L I find here is number 11. So 11 goes there. So go ahead and pause the video and then come back when you're ready. And next thing to do is put in the keyword. In this case, the keyword is fun. So we'll put F-U-N here. And then we keep going. When we're using Visionaire, you just keep copying that keyword. So fun and fun. And then again, translate those into numbers. So F, we see right up here is a 5. And then keep translating U is a 20. N is 13. And then it's just a duplicate. So we can copy those numbers again. Next step tells me to either add or subtract. When we are encoding, we add, but when we're decoding, we subtract. So what you're going to do is subtract 11 minus 5, 8 minus 20, all the way down. So let's see if we can do that here. Okay, so we go 11 minus 5 is 6, 8 minus 20 is negative 12. Don't be frightened by the negative, we'll fix it. But go ahead and subtract all the way across. So pause the video now and come back when you're ready. Okay, and now we need to make sure that we go mod 26, which means all the answers we're looking for need to be between 0 and 25. So 6, the first number, is between 0 and 25. It's fine. Then I've got some negatives. I'm going to skip those and just jump to the nice numbers because I can copy those easily. So anything between 0 and 25 is fine. You just copy it. But the negative numbers, how do we fix it? Well, we have to add something to those negatives to make them positive. So right here we have a negative 12. We're going to add something. We're going to add 26. Be really careful. We're doing mod 26, so you add 26. And in this case, we get a positive 14. So 14 is the same as negative 12. And then right in here, we play the same game with negative 11. Always add 26, and that becomes a 15 there. And then we'll do one more. This negative 9, add 26, gives me positive 17. So 17 goes right there. And then the last step is the easiest part of this process, and that's just to, again, go back up to our alphabet chart right at the top here and translate. First number I see is a 6, that's a G. Next number I see is a 14, that's an O. I have a suspicion as to what the rest of them are, but go ahead and double check. So pause the video and come back when you're ready. And lo and behold, again, the secret word was gopher. Last part, auto key with keyword B. And I realize here that the encoded phrase didn't come out on my copy, but I think you have it on yours. So it's HSTNSG. So that has already been encoded using auto key with the keyword B, and we want to decode. So the first thing we'll do is copy that phrase. Actually, I'm going to draw some lines in my table first. Okay, so the first thing we'll do is copy that phrase down here, HSTNSG. And next thing is to translate all those letters into the numbers using the alphabet chart right at the top. So the first thing I see is H, which is a 7. So that goes there. Pause the video, come back after you filled in the rest of this row. Okay, so we've got our numbers. Then we're going to take the keyword, which is B. So I'm going to copy B as my keyword. Now, if we were doing Visionaire, then you would copy B again, and you just keep writing B's here until you ran out of letters. That's not how it works for AutoKey. How it works for AutoKey is we actually don't know what to put in the next line until we start translating. So we're going to keep going down and then eventually fill in the blank space to the right. So the next step is to translate the letters into numbers. I see a letter B, that's the number 1. E's are both 4s. Okay, next thing to do, it says add or subtract. When we are decoding, we subtract. So you're going to subtract 7 minus 1, 18 minus 4, and 19 minus 4. So let's fill those in here. 7 minus 1 is 6, 18 minus 4 is 14, 19 minus 4 is 15. Then we're going to take those numbers and make them mod 26, which means the answers should all be between 0 and 25. And in this case, they're all between 0 and 25 already, so we don't have to do anything. And then we're going to go back and figure out what the phrase is for these letters. It's going to be a partial phrase, but we can get part of it now. So 6 is a G, 14 is an O, and then 15 is a P. That looks familiar. Well, let's pretend we don't know where this is going just yet. The next step with AutoKey is to find the rest of this keyword. The start of the keyword was B, but the rest of the keyword is the partially figured out phrase we've got, GOP. Okay, and now we go back to the step we were on before where we take those letters and turn them into numbers. So I'm looking for a G. G in this problem is right here, it's a 6. And then O is over here, that's a 14. And then P is a 15. And maybe I shouldn't be so surprised that they were all circled before. 6, 14, 15 is exactly those. So if you're real smart, you could maybe just copy those right up here and not even worry about the letters. But that doesn't describe me. So I go through all the details. And next thing to do is again subtract. So we're going to highlight some stuff in blue. Subtract that minus that minus that, and finally that minus that. So let's put them in. 13 minus 6 is 7. 18 minus 14 is 4. 6 minus 15 is negative 9. Now we do this mod 26. Any answer that's between 0 and 25 is perfectly good and gets copied. But the negative 9 requires our attention. To make it turn into something between 0 and 25, you add the same number. It's 26. So when we add 26, we get 17. 17 goes right in that spot. And then finally, the easy part, take these numbers and turn them back into letters using the chart at the top. So 7, we've seen it before, it's still H. 4 is right here, that's an E. And then 17 is an R. So yet again, the encoded phrase was gopher.